Right now, there are people paying $200 a month for AI and people paying exactly nothing. And for most tasks, on most days, they are getting nearly the same answers. That's not a hot take. It's how the pricing is designed. So today we're building both setups for real, the $200 stack and the $0 stack, and walking through exactly where they perform the same, where the money starts mattering, and which side of that line you're actually on. Because the answer is not expensive is better. It's stranger than that. First, what does $200 a month even buy? Both major AI companies now run versions of the same pricing ladder. Free at the bottom, $20 in the middle, and top tiers that run all the way to $200. The top tiers, ChatGPT's premium plan, Claude's max plan, sell three things. 1. Quantity. The top tiers multiply your usage limits many times over. The wall you'd hit on a $20 plan effectively disappears for all but the most extreme users. 2. The premium brains. The most capable model variants, the slow, expensive, thinks longer versions, sit behind the top tiers along with the biggest allocations of features like deep research reports and AI coding tools. 3. Priority. When demand spikes, you're at the front of the line. New features usually reach you first. Notice what's on that list. More, better, sooner. Notice what's not. Different. The $200 user and the free user are using the same fundamental technology from the same companies through the same chat box. That fact is going to do a lot of work in the next 10 minutes. Now the free stack, and this is where most people's mental model is a year out of date. Days ago, as I'm recording this, OpenAI removed the cap on text conversations for free users entirely. Unlimited text chat on a current model for nothing. Web search is included. File uploads, image tools, and voice still have meters. And in the US, the free tier is now ad-supported, which tells you something we'll come back to. Free Claude gives you a capped but real slice of the same models the paid tiers use. Free Gemini ships with more generosity than either, because Google is fighting from behind and paying for attention. Stack all three and rotate when you hit a cap, and the $0 user has something that would have been the best AI setup money could buy not long ago. That's the core weirdness of this market. The free tier isn't a demo. It's yesterday's flagship product, marked down to zero because two of the richest companies in history are locked in a land war, and your attention is the territory. The free stack exists because you are worth acquiring. Keep that in mind while we score this thing. Round 1, the stuff that fills most people's actual usage. Drafting emails, summarizing documents, explaining something confusing, meal plans, trip plans, spreadsheet formulas. Rewrite this so it sounds professional. This round is a tie, and it isn't close to not being a tie. For short, routine tasks, today's free tier models are past the threshold where extra capability shows up in the result. The $200 stack writes the same follow-up email the free stack writes. There's a reason for that. These tasks were mostly solved a generation of models ago. Paying more buys you a smarter engine, but a grocery run doesn't go better in a race car. If your honest usage is everyday tasks a few times a week, and for most people it is, the comparison ends here, and the free stack wins on the only math that matters: identical output, $200 cheaper. Every month, that's $2,400 a year for answers you were already getting. But stay with me, because there are 2 rounds left and they both go the other way. Round 2, heavy use. This is where the free stack starts losing, not on intelligence, on interruption. Yes, ChatGPT just made free text chat unlimited, but watch where the walls actually moved. Upload a client's PDF, analyze an image, use voice, Reach for the premium reasoning models, still metered. Claude's free tier, still capped, and it arrives fast under serious load. Work at professional intensity and you're still waiting, juggling accounts, or pasting context into a second tool that doesn't know what the first one knew. Here's the subtle cost. It's not the waiting, it's the fragmentation. Deep work with an AI accumulates context. The tool knows your document, your constraints, the last 40 exchanges. Every wall you hit resets that. The free stack user working at professional intensity spends real energy managing meters instead of working. In a workaround that costs you 20 minutes a day costs more than $200 a month at any professional billing rate. Volume users aren't paying for smarter answers. They're paying for the absence of walls. That absence is worth nothing at low usage and worth everything at high usage. This round goes decisively to the money. Put a face on it. A freelance copywriter with 4 client drafts due today, working off client PDFs on the model that handles their tone best, hits a meter mid-morning, mid-paragraph. The upload cap, or the good model's allocation. The workaround tour begins. Switch to the second free assistant, re-explain the client's tone, lose the thread, produce a draft that reads like 2 different people wrote it, because 2 different machines did. Multiply by every working day. Now the same writer on a paid plan, 1 tool, 1 context, no tour. Nothing about the intelligence changed. The workday did. Round 3, the features that only exist up the ladder in meaningful quantity. Deep research, where the AI spends long minutes reading dozens of sources and returns a cited report. The premium reasoning models that grind on genuinely hard problems. Serious allocations of AI coding tools, which have become their own profession-changing category. Video generation on some plans. These aren't better versions of free features. Several barely exist at the free tier. But score this round honestly. These tools are spectacular for the small group whose work lives inside them. Programmers, researchers, people producing content at volume, and decorative for everyone else. A deep research report is impressive. If your job doesn't consume research, it's a party trick. The money wins this round only if you can name, specifically, the task in your week these tools would absorb. If the honest answer is I'd find something, that's the answer no. One more thing the spec sheets can't show you, what the top tier feels like to live in, because that's the real product. The $200 user never thinks about the meter, they never ration a question, never save the good model for the important task, never plan work around a cap resetting. The most capable version of everything is simply on, all the time, and busy days at the AI companies. The days free users see slowdowns and try again later, mostly don't reach them. It's the difference between owning a car and checking a bus timetable. The timetable user makes 100 small accommodations they've stopped noticing. That frictionlessness changes behavior in a way that's easy to miss. When every question is free at the margin, you ask more of them. You hand over the half-formed idea, the 10th revision, the check this again, but assume I'm wrong about the dates. Some of that is waste. Some of it is where the actual value of these tools lives, because the 10th revision is sometimes the one that matters. Paying to remove friction sounds like a luxury until you notice that friction was quietly deciding which questions you asked. That 1 hour turn, not smarter answers, is the honest pitch for the top tier. Whether it's worth $2,400 a year depends entirely on whether your week contains work that deserves it. Now zoom out, because the real finding isn't the scorecard. It's why the gap between $200 and zero is this small, and what that means going forward. The free tiers are this good because they're marketing, not charity. Free users train the habit, feed the funnel, and, increasingly, see the ads. These companies lose enormous sums serving free users at frontier quality, which we've covered before on this channel. And they do it because market share now is worth more than margin now. You, the free user, are not the customer yet. You're the acquisition, which means the $0 stack has an expiration behavior, not a date, a direction. Ads arrive, then multiply. The gates get rearranged. This week, free text chat became unlimited the same year ads showed up inside it, while everything a professional needs stayed behind the meter. The distance between free and what the money buys gets engineered where it pays, because eventually every land grab has to become a business. The free stack is a fantastic deal, the way a casino buffet is a fantastic deal. Real food, real value, and the building was not built to feed you. Enjoy it with clear eyes. The $2,400 a year question isn't just, is paid better today? It's, what am I building my habits on, and what happens when the subsidy shifts? The honest decision tree in 1 minute. Start at 0. Everyone, no exceptions. Not because free is best, but because your real usage pattern is unknowable until you collide with a wall, and paying to avoid a wall you've never hit is how subscriptions farm people. Upgrade to 20 the second week, you hit caps twice while doing something that earns money or saves real time. That's the whole rule. $20 is where most people who should pay anything should stop. It's the sweet spot of this entire market, which is exactly what last week's video was about. 200 is a professional tool with a professional test. It pays for itself inside a month or it doesn't. A developer whose coding tool ships features faster, a consultant whose research compresses from days to hours, for them, it's trivially worth it, the same way tradespeople don't agonize over truck payments. If you're not producing income through the tool, the top tier isn't a luxury version of a good decision. It's a costume. So, the $200 stack versus the $0 one. Verdict: the free stack wins for most people, most weeks, same answers, no invoice. And it wins because the paid users and the investors are subsidizing your seat at the table. The money wins the moment your usage turns professional. Walls, volume, specialist tools, income on the line. The uncomfortable part is that the gap is temporary. This is the cheapest frontier AI will ever be relative to what it does. And the free tier you're enjoying is a courtship, not a right. So use the subsidy, keep your habits portable, and rerun this math every 6 months. Because in this market, the price tags are strategy, and strategy changes. What doesn't change is the only number that ever mattered: hours saved versus dollars out. Run that math and you can ignore every pricing page on the internet, because you'll be the one thing this whole industry hasn't priced in: a customer who actually knows what they're buying.